Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, we are live. We are here with the Sesh Connection. I'm your host, Tracy Valentine. We've got some guests today. We've got a full house, if you see what I'm saying. We've got a couple of new subscribers as well, so welcome to all of you out there. Again, my name is Tracy Valentine. Next to me, I have Adam the Crusher. Next to him, I have Brandy. Brandy has been on the show before. You all remember her. She does a lot of my brewery tasting with me, as well as some cannabis stuff as well. Billy, the bud tender over there, and Sierra, VP of Bong-A-Thon. That's right. Welcome, you guys. I'm a little frazzled. You know, I had to get the dog going, had to grab the door downstairs. You know how that goes. But I am so glad to have you guys on the show. If you've never seen the show before, we do a brewery segment first. So I like to go and visit breweries. I figured I would change up the Sesh Connection a bit. You guys know the Sesh Connection as being the event company that does cannabis-friendly consumption events. Well, we've changed up the format of it. So we will definitely be on the second segment doing some cannabis tasting. But here on this part of the show, it's all about the brewery. So, speaking of breweries, do we like beers? I know we have a maybe over here.
I am not as much of a beer drinker, but
You're not wrong.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. Are any of you like special style beer people? Like, you know, there's the IPA drinker.
I prefer the wheat.
Okay.
Honestly, New Belgium is a white rascal. that
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And then there's a unfiltered beer that I'm familiar with. It starts with W, and it's super long. It's one of those German beers that you have to like flip over and serve it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you know, obviously a safety would be in the mood. But again, being a safety, given the choice of that white rascal, is pretty awesome.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not the biggest fan of shock top. I feel like it's kind of a not.
Oh yeah, I'll agree with you. Yeah, there's a lot of those beers out there that have, you know, every brewery started out small when we think about it. So at the beginning of it all, it was always craft beer. It ended up that it went from craft beer to like Anheuser-Busch Beverage Company decided, let's go and buy up this company and make a whole giant brewery conglomerate, right? And a lot of those places that really put some real personal touches on their craft beer just said, okay, someone else has it. Let them do what they need to for it. And I get it. Even with dispensaries, at the end of the day, we make something and we want someone to buy it from us so that we can retire happily. I get it. I just hate when we lose that integrity of something that we love so much, you know?
Yeah.
So let's go down the way. Brandy, how about you? What kind of beers you like?
I'm not.
Yeah.
So like it's usually seasonal. So now like
Get into those mics a little closer for me.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're all right.
So I'm a seasonal person. So probably right now I'd be drinking like a porter.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Absolutely. Crusher, talk to me.
I mean, I really don't drink much, so I mean, I like to try.
Okay.
I kind of like to try everything.
Fair. I am a light beer drinker, although I'll taste anything. I used to be a sours person or like farmhouse ales and stuff. Like the funkier the better. I was super happy about it. Now I'm like, I'll have one, but I really like those light beers. I like to be able to actually like sit down and have a few before I'm tired of it, or like you do that. A lot of sours do that sappy kind of feel. You know what I mean? You're like,
Almost heartburn.
and you're like, oh, it's warm. I'm done. I'm so done with this.
Yeah.
So that's definitely. I like hearing the different styles that people like. We grabbed a very specific style, and we're going to go into that in a second. Because this past week was Bach Beer Day, Wednesday the 20th. So I got to tell you guys, I tried so many breweries in the past week to find anybody carrying a Bach beer.
Yeah.
There weren't any. I looked at so many places, but I found one. And I visited it, and I loved it. Four Noses Brewery, very well known in Colorado. They're out of Broomfield. They're really. So if you've ever had, there's I want to say it's like the raspberry blonde ale. If you've ever had that, that used to be my jam. That used to be the thing I would go to for sure. It was such a good beer. Yeah. Oh, it's super tasty. It's nice and fruity, but it's not like sour fruity. It's just subtle. It's like more of like a very fruity Kolsch. So effervescent, but still has that nice deep fruitiness to it. When I was there, I like to try light stuff. So I tried they had a Czech Pilsner, and then they also had a German Pilsner. And there's some subtle differences between the two. Of course, like German Pilsners have, or German beers in general have a certain kind of hop they use, as opposed to what the Czech Republic uses for their hop. So two completely different tastes, two different bitternesses to that. I ended up, though, of course, buying the Fooder Malbach, the Maibach rather, and I say Fooder. That is actually spelled Foeder, but not pronounced Foeder. It is Fooder, and it is their Maibach. Apparently, they have this as well as a Maibach Helles, and I do love me a good Helles. Actually, I'm a fanatic of a Helles. I think the dog is going to take his way down the way. Brandy, he probably needs to say hello to you. Hasn't in a minute. So he's our co-host to an extent. He's our fifth player in this? Fifth? Yeah, fifth. Fourth, sixth. He's our sixth. All right, so I grabbed two just in case we would need to try a little bit more on this one, of course. And let's put this up to. We can't really get this close enough to the camera that's out there, but this is what their Fooder Maibach came in, and it is a German-style pale lager.
Does it have one of those little Guinness shaker things inside there?
It does not, like the Boddingtons. I love me a good
I was
Boddingtons.
gonna say,
The fancy beers. And then, oh my, so this is a 7.3%. Thank God we're only doing some little taste testings of this, right, guys? This is in Broomfield, Four Noses Brewery in Broomfield. So I have some cups for everybody trying out some. Pass these down the ways. Yingling, you don't get a glass. All right. And we're going to do one nice one here for the camera. And again, we're a little farther away this time, you guys. I do apologize, but bear with us on this. Now, a Maibach to me usually has like a deeper, like a kind of a brownish kind of caramel color to it. And I am super shocked to see that this does not. This is more of and I'm just going to show this before I pour you guys some, but this is a nice effervescent beer, a lot of bubbles around the sides. The head dissipates nicely and fast for that matter. It's not thick and creamy. It's more
She's
just like
known for
super
getting my
bubbly.
head to
Oh yeah? Dissipate, like in a good dissipated beer?
Oh my God.
All the men. And so I mean, again, dissipates really nice and fast. Super nice little airy bubbles on there. It's got this great golden color to it, a little see-through on that, a little bit of light hay on that look. So let's pour you guys something as well here, and I'm going to pass this down the way. Pour as much or as little as you like on this little guy, considering I have two. So by all means, feel free. I know you said you're kind of a beer connoisseur, not much, so you didn't want to pour too much, but please feel free. When I smell this, I definitely, me and my crisp apples, of course. And then just again, guys, just make sure you're talking a little bit louder. We're getting some good feedback from people saying that just a little louder on the talking. Brandy, that microphone actually does come out of that if you guys ever want to just feel the need to hold it and talk.
I know, that's why it was all.
So me and the crisp apple smell, that I'm definitely smelling that. I smell crisp pears. Definitely like a nice crispy aromatic to it. A little bit of floral in that, of course. Tell me what you guys smell on your beers. What are the effects you're getting off of that? What is the sense?
Yeah,
of aroma?
definitely fruitier.
Yeah. Excellent. What kind of fruits do you feel like? Are you getting like more of like a pear? Are you getting apples? Are you getting like a stone fruit? Okay.
I taste pear. Apple. Pear
Again,
apple.
As a carnivore, I don't really eat very many of those fruits and or vegetables, that rabbit food stuff.
Every once in a while, it's good.
So
Gotta have some sugars.
at the end of the day, as my palate is getting more fruitier, softer vibes.
Gotcha.
Pear, peach.
Yeah.
Also like a white apple, white grape.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, that white grape. I like that analogy. Yeah. Definitely on that for sure. White peach, I would say I'm agreeing with you. Definitely on that more whiter fruit kind of aromas for sure.
For being a lager, it's not aggressive.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
right. It's not. Yeah, you don't get that. Like, there's not a harsh bitterness. It's definitely crispy. I would 100%, as I like to call them, I would call this a porch pounder. I will come after a long day of lawn mowing. I will absolutely open the fridge and grab this fucking thing. Not that I own a lawnmower. We all know I live in a small studio apartment. But if I had a lawnmower, I would just stop it from using it, and I would absolutely grab a beer out of the fridge. Not a problem. I've gotten some feedback. Billy and Sierra, we want you guys to definitely make sure you take that mic and use it. So if anything, take it off of the. You're more than welcome to pull it out of there and use it in your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I don't mind. You can definitely do that. You know, the second half of the show is yours. But yeah, so I was getting bready, malty, kind of light bitterness. Absolutely do get a little bit of breadiness on there, just a little bit, on that back end. I also got a hint of anisette. I had a little bit of on the tail end, on the chompers in the back. I get this very light, like licorice, like a black licorice kind of taste to it. And it's not, like I said, it's not as heavy as expected. That's why I would 100% call this a porch pounder for sure. What did you guys think overall of this specific beer? Yeah, happy Maibach Day for that matter then.
Again, it's not at 7.3. I think that's like maybe average for a heady beer.
Yeah.
So that'd be my problem. I'd have to try to pace myself a
Same.
little bit.
Same, I agree.
I think
This is gonna creep up on you.
When you said porch pounder, I blacked out thinking of her and I on a summer day. And honestly, but yes, I get what you're saying. Where stop the mower, come on over.
Absolutely, stop the mower, take her to the ground.
No, delicious beer, and I would definitely have
It is, yeah. Four Noses Brewery, Broomfield, right around the corner. I feel. Oh, maybe a little bit of a drive, but around the corner.
Where did you buy this locally?
You can actually buy that at a couple of different liquor stores in the area. I specifically went to the brewery, but you can get that at Bevy's. You can get that at Argonaut Wine and Liquor. You can get that at Total Wine and Liquor. They absolutely have Four Noses in a lot of those places. Now, can you get the 16 ounces? I am not necessarily sure. They would probably be on their special shelves, because if they have a 4-pack or a 6-pack, the 6-pack rather will be on their regular shelves. The 4-packs are more of like a specialty beer, so might not get that.
I'm not too familiar with the beer culture. Can you elaborate more on what makes the microbrews more interested in the 4-pack versus like 6-pack, the cans versus the bottles?
Yeah, a lot of times it's more of like how they're packaging it. But when it comes to like that difference of a 6-pack versus a 4-pack, your 4-pack 16 pounders is what they're going to call them. They are specialty beers. They're some of the beers that maybe you can't get all the time. Maybe something that's only brewed once in a while or seasonal. So you don't really get a lot of those. Like a great example would be WeldWorks out of Greeley. They have some awesome, right? They have some very unique style beers. And if you follow them and they talk about a release at their liquor stores or at a liquor store, people run because it is a limited commodity. Like, people love it.
On the low, I actually used to get like private releases through a friend of a friend who was family, and yeah, they bring me these wild blends that they were releasing. Again, going back to my citrus roots, they would surprise me. Great beer.
So I went to GABF a few times. I told you guys earlier that I work with that a little bit, but WeldWorks always has like some sort of special brew that they have at their stand. And one year, kid you not, they had a spaghetti goza, and it tasted like, and we love you WeldWorks, but it tasted like a tin SpaghettiOs can. Like, it really, really did. It had that tinny taste to it. It really did. And then like 2 years ago, they had a beef taquito beer. Like it was a taco beer, and so they served it with a little like beef taco on the top of it. So
Bold choice.
I'm telling you, definitely different, super tasty. Brett said hello, Billy. He misses you. And Valentine, great show. We appreciate you, Billy. Brett, thank you so very much. So we are. I know that you guys are ready for your next beer. Apparently I'm lagging here, so let me just. I've got other cups though. It's okay. We're gonna pass those out and make sure you guys get it because again, there is another segment to this show that I think I told you guys about earlier. Does anybody need a cup?
I don't mind using my
All right.
name.
Excellent.
I really don't.
Excellent. But what I like to do is I like to travel. Behind us, as everybody knows, is this map, and it's okay if you don't turn around. It's all right. I know we've seen it, but this map actually is 80 beers around the world, or So what we do is we like to go to a different country and grab a beer and try a different beer each time. Now, I wish I could travel to those different countries, but instead I have to rely on the local liquor stores to carry these things for me. So I traveled mentally to China.
Mentally.
And I picked up this pale lager called Tsing Tao out of China.
Aw.
Yes, yes.
I don't
Um, we are going to try a beer from China
Is
today.
that a rice beer?
It
Oh,
is
that's what I was
not a
wondering.
rice beer. It's a 4.7. No, listen to that over there. Very nice.
Keep those beers coming. I might get some tonight.
Nice. So, there's a very interesting story behind this specific beer and how it was discovered and how it became a Chinese beer. So, as I said, it comes from the Tsingtao Brewery, and it's China's second largest brewery. It was founded in 1903, August 15th, so it's about 121, 122 years old. And it was actually founded by German settlers. German settlers that ended up out there in China and decided let's grab this brewery. So let's see what actually ended up happening. In about 1916 is when this brewery actually ended up being sold and was split into two companies, one of which would become the Sapporo Brewery. And we all have had a Sapporo at least once in our lives, right? Sushi, Sapporo, you can't go wrong. It actually wasn't until the end of World War II that this brewery was turned into a Chinese brewery. Okay. So, I mean, it took a little while for that to happen. And it actually, this specific brewery stands as the 6th largest brewery in the world. I've never heard it. Kid you not. So we're all going to try this, of course. And I am, again, very shocked at, and we're all going to look at this a little bit. Pass along. So wow. Again, sorry that we can't really show you guys too much because of that camera being a little bit of a distance, but I mean, super effervescent again. The head dissipated super fast. Let's hope that doesn't happen in the bedroom.
Damn good.
I had to come up on that one. You guys got me on the last one. So there's this really light golden color to it. Practically transparent. Like I mean, you can really see through it if you didn't have all
So
the
it's like the
bubbles.
Miller High Life.
Ooh,
of
yes.
China.
It's the Miller High Life of China. Nice. Now, does it taste like the Miller High Life of China? We're all trying this one for the first time. So, a little bit of honey notes.
It definitely doesn't taste like
Okay. All right.
When I
Oh,
smoked I was a little worried, and then I think, oh, it's not as aggressive.
it's a bit lighter than I expected.
Exactly.
A lot less bitter than I expected. There was a small part of me that was like, did I just drink a Heineken? Like,
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, tastes like St. Louis girl. Heineken.
Yes, it was, like there's definitely a familiar taste in that beer for sure. I absolutely would say like Heineken, something like that in there. Which from the last show, if you guys have heard about it, I had found that I had worked at a brewery or a bar in Trevose, Pennsylvania. Yes, I'm telling the story again. But I had worked at a bar in Trevose, Pennsylvania, and I had mentioned these German guys came in, and I had no like import beers really to give them per se. And so I said, "Oh, would you guys like a Heineken?" And boy, did I get this is Shyster beer. Like, don't ever offer us Heineken. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, take this Budweiser." Like, what else am I supposed to give these people?
Right.
All the beer we have right now in the 90s is shit. Like, I didn't know what to do.
Bush beer.
Butch beer. Anybody ever tried Meisterbrow or like those old school?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, who hasn't gone out and bought that, like, $15 36 pack to bring to the party, and you think, I got 36 beers, I'm the fucking man.
Right?
No. I'll put that down, and then I'll go raid the fridge for their craft beers. Yeah. I brought the beer, and I'm taking yours.
And I feel like that was just like the thing where you would show up with a public 30 pack, and then like in the car in the secret stash you had the 6-pack,
armrest, good stuff.
Yeah, something a little bit more choice. Possibly a bit.
Of course, something to entertain yourself better than that Meisterbrow. So all in all, what did we think about that? I definitely, like I said, I got a Heineken taste from that.
I actually like the
Okay.
like I said, smell definitely was off-putting.
Yeah.
but I think it smells good.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So
You're
as
not
a
wrong.
resident, it's on its part,
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you do one for a hot summer day.
Oh yeah, that lawnmower coming out again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I could probably
Awesome. Good. You guys, I think that's actually going to conclude the first part of the show. I want to go over a couple of different events before we say farewell to the beer part of this show. But March 26th, which is, what did I say? Tomorrow.
2 days.
In 2 days.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
it's tomorrow. So it
Yeah,
is
I
tomorrow.
know.
So tomorrow is, Orville Trappist Day, as you know. That is the beer that is specifically brewed by the monks in the Notre Dame Monastery. Definitely get you one of those. I am not sure if it is a limited thing where they just release it on Trappist Day. I did try to look for one, but I figure we will save that then until next week in case it does come out tomorrow. I'll be sure to get one, and we'll talk about that on next week's show. April 6th and 7th, you guys, this is super funny. In the cannabis world, we have tons of different, like, really interesting events, and we're going to go over some of those in the next part of the show. But I found this to be hilarious. April 6th is New Beer's Eve, and April 7th is New Beer's Day. So, I mean, I'm not sure if you go through, like, the image at night, like you dream about these beers that are going to be released the next day, and then magically, yay, it's New Beer's Day, and you wake up all happy and run downstairs to your fridge. I'm not sure. I might just do that for shits and giggles, but but that's happening on the 6th and the 7th. Also on the 6th and the 7th, for the women out there, Lady Justice Brewery is opening their doors on the 6th and the 7th. They are actually opening in their new spot on Acoma. That is where the old sunroom tap room used to be, if I'm not mistaken. Really nice, quaint little place. It's a nicer size for them. If you've been to Lady Justice Brewery over there on Upper Colfax, it was so small, and they have so much to offer. So definitely a bigger room for them, a bigger space, bigger atmosphere. I really hope it worked out for
And
them.
the name is what again?
Lady Justice Brewery, all women owned, all women brewing, everything.
They have a
Beautiful.
tasting
Great.
room.
They do, absolutely. Get over there, check that one
Of
out.
the beer, not
Either way.
Damn it. Right.
I realized you said that, and I was like, better clarify that.
On April 10th is Colorado Pint Day. I actually collect these pint glasses. I have 3 in the cabinet. I was going to break them out, but we're not going to break them out, obviously, because they're way over there and I'm way over here. But I have 3 of them. Every year, find a brewery specifically in Colorado. And if you go there on April 10th and you order a pint, you will get it from the pint glass that is made for 2024. And it's just a really neat experience. You get the glass, you get the beer, you have a good time.
So you go to any brewery?
Any
You would
brewery,
know. Would you
most
know?
breweries. basically any brewery. If I were to take you over to Rhino right now on the 10th, rather, every single brewery there should have some. Yeah. Absolutely. It's really neat.
Yeah.
April 18th, I'm still waiting for somebody to ask me out to the adult prom at the aquarium for 2 tickets. It's $38 and it's hosted by Number 38 Brewery. Like I said,
$38 for 2 tickets.
it's $38 for 2 tickets in total, and it's an adult prom at the aquarium. Food, drink, prom. You can't go wrong. The theme is actually my 1997 prom theme, Under the Sea. So, I really want to go to this. I just don't want to go stag. I hated my old prom, though. I fucking hated it. It
You
was
said
awful.
stag.
I
I haven't
did.
heard that word
I'm so
since
old.
prom.
I'm so old.
Hey, I went with the teammate. With our team. We were like, we'd have dates. We just go together.
So I asked out my like childhood friend to my prom, and he made it the worst like experience ever. And he ended up sleeping with a friend of mine that night. But I watched the sunset on a rooftop or the sunrise on a rooftop with somebody else. That was really cool. But
What did your dress look like?
It was blue. It was horrible. I really liked my dress, to be honest with you. But what made it suck was the fact that a friend of mine who constantly tried to be like me in life, she wore the same fucking dress.
Like desperately seeking.
Yes, wore the same dress. I was so upset. But the second prom I went to, because I was at dual schools, I was doing my high school and my tech school at the same time. So my tech prom, I was so excited because some guy asked me to go to the prom, and I'm like, yes, great. What ends up happening? No, Yingling. What ends up happening? He brought 3 people to the prom. I didn't know that I was part of an entourage of people he brought to the prom. Yeah,
No, that's
of course.
I couldn't hold that.
So that's happening April 18th, you guys. And then April 27th is Brew at the Zoo in Pueblo, hosted by a bunch of different, so it's going to be breweries, wineries, and distilleries. They're going to have food there, but all throughout the Pueblo Zoo, it's Brew at the Zoo. So I think that's really
what
cool.
Date or what day?
That is the 27th. I want to say that is on a Saturday. Yeah. So definitely head out to that. To end this part of the show, I just wanted to say thank you to Four Noses Brewery. Thank you to Sing Tao Brewery as well. We are pleased to have tried all of those beers. You guys, thank you so much for joining us on this part of it. Are we ready to dip into our second part? I think so. I truly
She won't
think
let
so.
me dip into the second part.
We're gonna-
I need to earn it.
We're gonna have to dip. We're gonna have to dip. One of the products I have is a dip.
Okay.
So, you guys, thank you so much for sharing with the first part of the show. Second part of the show, welcome again if you're just joining in. I'm your host, Tracy Valentine. With me is the Bong-A-Thon crew, is the friends and people. Introduce yourselves. Sierra, start with you down there.
I'm Sierra, Vice President, Bong-A-Thon.
Bong-A-Thon!
I'm Billy the Bud Penter. I'm the MC to the Bong-A-Thon.
Bong-A-Thon!
Hello, I'm Brandy. I have nothing to do.
Wait, and now you gotta come as a guest.
I will. Yeah, I just have a clothing company.
That's right, she does. Downtown City. Right. Go ahead, my friend.
My name is Adam, aka Crush. And I'm with Bong-A-Thon
Nice. Bong-A-Thon! And I'm Tracy, as you already know. We already got to that. So, you guys, I went to a dispensary this past week for a pop-up. I was at Smoking Cowboy. It is the one and only dispensary in Wellington, so like 10 minutes from Wyoming. So they're getting you coming in or they're getting you going out, and they get packed. So I was really happy to be there. I was really shocked at how packed it was for how quiet of an area or open of an area it is. I just really didn't expect that much foot traffic, but holy shit. So what I found there that I thought was really interesting was these things called Juana dips, Juana dips. I was really curious at first when I saw it. It says spearmint on there, so I had really just kind of assumed that it was like a mint of some sort, right? But no, they are a fast-acting, refreshing spearmint, discreet and odorless dip pouch. I'm just going to drop that out of my hand. So, guys, really tiny, really itty bitty. You can see from the sign behind. This is a little pouch that you put into your mouth and you kind of put off to the side like you would a dip pouch, right? If you were dipping nicotine. So, it is. It is
But do you-
exactly like
But do
chewing.
you swallow?
That's what
No,
I was wondering.
I think you swallow the unfortunate whatever's going to be happening in here.
The-
As a matter of
do you-
fact,
the saliva.
Yes.
You swallow the saliva.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is a water-soluble, not sublingual nanoparticle containing of delta-9. So it's transported into the saliva, so small amounts absorbed into the bloodstream naturally. So it's just from sucking on this, that's what you're supposed to get. They're gluten-free. They're vegan, not that really matters to me. It's known as the Palisade Apothecary, and they're a company that's on the western slope here in Colorado. So I'm going to pass these down, and one of the reasons that we're showing these now, and that we're all going to take one now. Yes, you're all my guinea pigs. And I'm going to take one along with them as well because this is going to be my first time trying them too. They obviously come in a pouch, in a container rather, that looks exactly like a dip pouch that you would put your dip into. Why do I feel like every time I say dip, I'm thinking of Roger Rabbit? Right? So,
Essentially like a water flowing.
yeah, yes, exactly.
I
I don't
have-
like
I
to
have-
eat my weed, so I'm confused and
I have
concerned.
so many questions.
Oh, please, all right, let me dip in, and then you please
So-
talk.
Yeah, I don't know about
I've
this.
never dipped before, so I'm not.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm not
hoping
a
I'm doing
dipper.
this right. Not a dipper.
Sure.
Oh, right here.
So,
Okay.
does the packaging say indica sativa, and how do you feel as,
No.
As that aspect? Is it made with live resin,
It
distillate?
is made with distillate. That I did find out. It is made with distillate. I am actually going to send you over this closed container, and you can take a look at the back on that. They come in 2.5 mil, which is a 40 packet. They come in 5 mil, which is going to be a 20 packet. And then the packet that I got is a 10 mil, so you get 10 of those in there. They do. No, it only goes up to the 10 because right now they're still just wrapped. Yeah, they are still just wrapped. But yeah, it says a 10 to 20 minute onset on that. So I'm very curious. But reason I had us take that now is because I really wanted to get into you guys. Well, not in that way. I'll keep my distance. But talk to me. You guys, you run
Yeah.
Bong-A-Thon. I've been to Bong-A-Thon. I love it. Talk to us. Tell us about you guys.
Again, I'm Billy the Bud Tender with the Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon. And with the Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon, it's a private party. This private party has been going on since about 1974. Some may argue before then, some may argue a little bit later than that. However, with the history being a little spotty, and that's kind of stoner rights, we're going to say 1974. There's been patches of hiatuses for various legal reasons. However, this summer we'll be celebrating our 40th Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon. Bong-A-Thon!
Bong-A-Thon!
And that's kind of our tradition around here. When I say Bong-A-Thon, it's a chant, it's a credo, it's a lifestyle. When I say it's a lifestyle, these are people that live it year round. The Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon is a private party that we evolve around competition cannabis smoking. With the competition cannabis smoking, we have team events, we have all-day events, and we have our championship event. To call yourself a champion, you're going to be smoking about 7 grams of competition cannabis on a competition bong using competition lighters and all the competition equipment with a competition judge to keep everything very consistent and cohesive. The Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon is a private party held in Colorado at an undisclosed location. It kind of moves throughout Colorado. At the private party, we like to have entertainment, a little bit of DJs, a little bit of bands. Going one step further, we like to have complimentary beer. We've been evolving into complimentary root beer. Going one step further, we also have like best camp competition. One of my personal favorites would be the wet T-shirt contest, formerly recognized as the best dressed in the West.
I love it.
Now, this is a private party that we invite stoners and people of our culture to come out. We are a counterculture private party. You cannot find a ticket to buy on Eventbrite. You cannot buy a ticket through Ticketmaster or All Access or anything like that. With the private party, you have to reach out to us through our means to get involved. And to get involved, you either come as a spectator. We're turning competition cannabis into a spectator sport. And with that, we have various leagues. We've had ABRA, or the American Bong Racing Association. We've also had OBD, Outlaw Bong Drag, with various chapters of Outlaw Bong Drag. That's why I bring with me today the Crusher. The Crusher will be kind of demoing a gram here in a moment or two. And to discuss the party aspect, I bring Sierra, our vice president. So at that point, I'll kind of turn it over to Sierra to talk about some of the best aspects of the private party.
Yeah, please do. If you want, like I said, you can take that off the stand. I know, no pressure, huh?
I think you pretty much covered it all.
Okay. So with that, how many Bong-A-Thons have you been to? You've been to like
I
13?
think we counted 13. I've only missed one, and that's not COVID.
Okay.
So I think if you had 12, 13, I've been to. It used to be like a family vacation thing for my parents.
Yeah.
Who would really enjoy as kids because it was the 70s. So I know as a child, I remember my parents packing up and stuff and getting ready to go do the little family trip, and then unfortunately it was busted. And so when I became 21, it was resurrected, and then I again started a whole new family vacation.
Gotcha. Oh, he needs to be that center, doesn't he? Good Lord.
That being said, our current president has
Yes.
been to multiple Bong-A-Thons, and she came from that early generation of Bong-A-Thon. So our current president understands, recognizes that Bong-A-Thon evolves, changes, grows, and as a private party, we maintain that aspect of a private party. With that word invitational, we maintain that word invitational. And we're proud to say that this is our 40th private party.
That's awesome.
And anybody who says that it has changed, unfortunately, could not make that change with us. As 40 years of evolution are going to bring some changes with the evolution of social media
Oh, God, yes.
and
Oh,
the
God,
brackets. Now, that being said, that's actually how you get in touch with us. If you're interested in coming to our private party, you can reach out to us on our Instagram pages, the Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon or Bong-A-Thon Official. You can also find us on Facebook, same aspect, same avenue, Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon. My name is Billy the Bud Tender. You can find Billy the Bud Tender on various social media platforms. We are very proud of our documentary online.
Yes.
Just Say Yo. If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, we're on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
So that's where you'll find our documentary, a free stream of Just Say Yo from our friend Jared Behill. Jared Behill has come into various aspects of our Bong-A-Thon, up to and including his podcast, The Heady Connect, or the Heady Perspective. Excuse me, The Heady Perspective. And with the Bong-A-Thon, we're in full Bong-A-Thon swing right now. You were mentioning events. We have a cannabis carnival coming up around the 420 weekend. If you follow us online, you can get invites and information to that party. I believe it goes Friday and Saturday. It might even go Friday, Saturday, Sunday
Okay.
at a private event. Where is it?
Manitou.
Manitou.
Gotcha.
It's a cannabis Airbnb.
Is that in Hill?
Yes, thank you.
No,
Great.
I-
That's great.
You guys,
Please.
every episode of the Stash Connection show, we've been talking about the 420 Carnival. It's on our
Yes,
list of
yes.
things to definitely
Yeah.
put out there for events coming up for
Now,
sure.
We're super
Yeah.
excited.
Late May with Green Faith Ministry up north in the Nunn area. I believe we have a fast gram competition with Reverend Baker and Green Faith Ministry. Pretty much old friends of the cannabis scene, and I look forward to getting back acquainted with them. I think that we have a few other things lined up that we are flirting Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon. We are flirting with the concept of trying to introduce bong racing to aspects of Illinois, since now Illinois has loosened up some regulations. With the Colorado Invitational Bong-A-Thon, we have been to Las Vegas
Yes.
various times, showcasing the bong racing. Just to clarify with anybody out there, what bong racing is specifically what it sounds like. If I were to put a bong in front of you and a friend, and I put a gram in front of you and a friend, when I say smoke, you two are responsible for grinding up that gram, smoking that entire gram, making it disappear accordingly, without any what we call disqualification. Examples of disqualification could be like a water flowback, throwing weed on the ground, extremes of like horrible spitting, horrible coughing, up to and including vomiting and puking. Everybody thinks that they can smoke weed fast. Tracy, you've mentioned that you've been to a bong-a-thon.
Oh, yes.
Did you actually attend the actual event?
I
And,
did, and
yeah.
I watched. I did not participate because,
No,
as you said,
it's
like getting
amazing to
sick.
watch, you
Yes,
know.
it really is.
Yes.
It is such a cool thing to see, you guys. I've never seen anything like it. Is definitely, I feel like the quote of the day when you see this.
Yeah, what I'd actually like to do, if it's cool, is to have the crusher demonstrate a fastest gram.
Got it.
Um,
Table's
I,
yours, my friend. You
yeah,
got it.
What we'll do is he's put a gram of weed already on the tray. It looks like,
Gotcha.
and basically I'll pull up a stop clock here for you.
Fantastic.
And I'll, in the spirit of competition, I actually want Tracy to do this
Oh.
because that way it's a third-party non-biased.
Fair enough.
And it's just as simple as it looks. When I say smoke, he's gonna grind up that and smoke as fast as he can. Real quick, Crusher, I gotta ask you, do you have any pendants or necklaces? Okay, so you'll notice that he's preparing accordingly. In the big competitions, we will actually allow 2 brand new Bic lighters based on our Bic lighter sponsor. Today it looks like he's going to go with the 1 lighter aspect. Is that correct?
Otherwise, if you need
He's
one, I've
using
got
his
one.
he's using his training tray from Riot. The Riot tray has a lip on it, and it's sized down. With Outlaw Bong Dregs, we have used that, but at the competition, you will get a competition regulation tray. Let's see. He's tested his lighter. He staged his bong bowl. It looks like he's basically ready. So again, I'll just give it up to him. Crusher, are you basically ready? Okay, girlfriend's gonna phone
That's
going
right.
one more time. There we go. Okay. When I say smoke, Tracy, are you ready?
I am.
On your mark, get set. Smoke, motherfucker. Smoke, motherfucker. Smoke. Now, as Tracy has hit the start button and she actually has an official time going, you'll notice the crusher lived up to his method of crushing. He palmed the weed and
Yes,
crushed
he
it down,
did.
all the way down. Now, had he have had a big stem in there, I would have actually allowed him to set the stem off to the side. He's not required to smoke the stem. All the hardcore smokers grind up the stem and actually smoke the stem itself. However, you do have an opportunity to set it off to the side and let the judge discard it. Crusher is coming into his final stretch. He's coming into his final little snap. And we are approaching over a half minute, and he has cleared it in the spirit of... He's cleaning up the bottom, and he's cleared. Yep, we're there. We're at 40 seconds and change.
Okay.
40 seconds and change is what he smoked that gram of weed. Now, you'll notice that he was finger fucking the very end of it, and that's to clean up the very last little puddle of it.
I saw that.
What we want to make very clear to people is that if it's literally a speck of weed left, we're not going to hold you accountable to that. We call it any smokable material. It's the smokable material that we are holding you accountable and responsible for. Now, had he have left a big bud on the tray, or had he have tried to put a big bud underneath his tray, that would have been a disqualification or questionable antics. That's what we go for in competition weed smoking, is we look for you to smoke that gram of weed in under a minute. I've seen 7 grams smoked in under 5 minutes, folks, just over 4 minutes. So when we say that we take this shit seriously, we really take this shit seriously. Adam literally just ate that gram for breakfast.
Yeah, he did. Dude, that thing was on that plate for a second. I turned from the counter and looked over, and it was already crushed up, dude.
And that's
Already crushed up.
And
Yeah, that's why I got the big brush. I always crush the down.
Now, he will point out that there's other tactics. Some people will kind of pick apart just enough to get the weed going in the bowl.
I've seen them just pick up a nug and break it in half, put it in their bowl, and just go.
Oh.
Now, again, that's no breaking it up or anything like that.
No.
And there are different tactics that we allow and we encourage. Now, that being said, we also encourage various training modes. Some people train with altitude masks. Some people train by physically working out, and then some people train by purchasing like pounds of CBD. At the end of it, I just want to see people smoke weed fast, and I want to encourage them to finish. When you see the Bong-A-Thon out doing a fastest gram competition, we do not require you to smoke it as long as you. What's the best way to put it? We want you to finish it. Okay? We want you to finish at the best time that you can possibly do. Most of the time.
Basically, if we have you step up to do the gram, we want you to finish the gram. If we encourage it.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's not going to hurt. We'll be all right.
And that's,
It's just one gram.
So it's a competition, but at the same sense, it's a very friendly competition. That it's like whether it's under a minute or over 4 minutes, you're still racing and you're still part of a team.
and that being said, if we are out in public and at an event, we do encourage you to finish it. However, if we've got 30 names on the list, I give them a limit of 5 minutes. And also, what's awesome about my team, Judge Jamie's missing today, is while Sierra and Judge Jamie are facilitating things in the back, they're weighing out the grams of weed.
Gotcha.
They're keeping the mouthpieces clean. They're servicing the bongs when the bongs the water needs to be cycled out.
Mhm.
There's a rotation to keep things in play accordingly, and that's why when you see us out at a fastest gram competition, we're not asking for a donation on the table. That's illegal. We're not asking for an entry fee. That's illegal.
Right.
We just want to. We're bringing the weed. We're bringing the
We're
bongs.
sharing the love and trying to show
Yeah.
everybody that.
Karma. Yeah. Karma. Absolutely.
Love
Karma.
that lady.
Yep. Definitely. That's actually how I when people give me tips at work at the dispo, I always tell them, thank you for the karma. It'll bite you back in the ass. I promise. It'll
Right.
bite you in a good way.
Right,
Absolutely. So, in the midst of us doing this, guys, where are we with our little dips? Anybody?
Well, I took mine out,
Okay.
and I feel like I dissolved it down.
I apparently
It's
did too.
definitely not poopy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll say it. It's very similar to a flavored ripple.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I got like a little like tingly kind of sensation from it. Like not a burn, but it just like there was something very
You might
either the peppermint or like that maltodextrin, whatever that additive is. Yeah.
Dextro.
Yeah. That's what I think I was definitely tasting in there. Didn't mind that it dissolved. Anybody
So,
feeling?
Let
any-
me just
Yeah,
say.
please. No, please,
Again,
please.
sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. Sometimes I speak too bluntly, but I have been introduced to other items that are similar, and that shit on the other items that are similar.
Okay.
I understand that Wana, assuming this came from Wana.
No.
No.
Juana.
I guess so.
Yeah.
More like a Juana.
They're just like a Juana.
So, do you know if they have a parent company? Like,
No,
what-
they do
Like
not. This
American
is
Juana.
the company. Like that is it. Website
So,
has them
the
listed.
Years ago, I feel like Adam was also introduced to them.
I'm trying to.
We're familiar with an actual, we'll call it a patented dip. But what makes it a patent is I think that he actually put the cannabis base in there.
Oh.
When that dissolved, that left me with just the packet.
Yes.
Because everything in the packet
Yes.
dissolved. Versus his, which was actually plant matter of some sort.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, it made me sick. I was swallowing it, and
Mhm.
much like a tobacco pouch, like it made me throw up basically.
Mhm.
Even though quote unquote they're safe to swallow, safe to
Sure.
ingest.
Sure.
But that is a different concept because that did not necessarily taste like
Yeah.
More control.
way more
Yeah.
controlled, way more science behind that.
Yeah.
The guy who has the patent on it, he has a patent on whatever fucking dip device he's using,
Gotcha.
but he definitely doesn't have a patent on the concept of putting something in a pouch and putting.
hmm I'm not necessarily sure that I'm a huge fan of it. I like the concept. I like that it's so discreet that again, we know as bud tenders, we know that in this industry we can't and don't talk about flying on a plane with anything, or traveling out of state with anything. But if we're talking discretion, Jesus Christmas,
Well,
like
and this
it's right
thing's
here.
legally compliant.
You know?
This bitch is legally compliant.
Mhm.
It has the THC on it.
Mhm.
So, apples to oranges, I would do it again.
Yeah.
However, I feel like Ripple is, or something like I would prefer to have that straight,
Sure.
flavorless powder.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Let me put it in my bar.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure that it needed the
Smart.
spearmint. I'm not sure that it needed that minty taste
Right,
to it per
right.
se. You know what I mean? I really
Right.
don't. Yeah.
Some might even like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good Jamie might like
Judge Jamie.
that.
So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as Bong-A-Thon or just in general industry news, something else?
Realistically, we
Yeah.
just want to put the word out there
Yes.
that people can be invited to the Colorado Invitational
Yes.
Bong-A-Thon. Honestly, our vetting process is how did you hear about us and what intrigues you in coming. We want to know that you heard about it through Billy the Bud Tender and the people through the Sesh Connect, and we want to know that you are interested in coming out and having a good time. On our invites, literally in print, it says no bad vibes. So that means come out and enjoy the good spirit. We don't like to be compared to anything, but if you have to compare us to anything, it would be like a Sturgis, Woodstocky,
Agreed.
Bonnaroo vibe.
But so much more chill.
Well, and
so much more chill.
Absolutely.
we do not have quote unquote a vendor alley. We do not have Shakedown Street. We have our little opportunities, and we always invite people to just come out and share the love. And knowing that, a lot of camps go for best camp and push for that by handing out hot dogs or giving out dabs.
Mhm.
A lot of camps.
Yeah.
Camp 13 has grown for the past decade and taken home various camp packages.
Yes, they have.
We have a very strong community out here, and at this point, we want to. Again, at the end of the day, every group of people thinks that they have somebody who can smoke weed fast. At the end of the
How
day,
wrong they
everybody
are.
thinks that they are the powerhouse. Well, this is your chance to prove it. To come out to our event. All day we host what's called a fastest gram competition. So that means you can come and put down a fastest gram as many times as you need to get your gram down and get your gram time more appropriate. If you put down a minute 7 gram, you better assume that someone's going to come along and put down a 50-second gram. So you might as well try again. And that goes for about 8 hours throughout the day, during which we're throwing down a team competition on a team relay, during which we're throwing down the main event. Now we've recently introduced a 3.5 or an eighth competition.
Oh my.
To again express to be a champion, you have to smoke 7 grams, and we do a first, second, third. That is the only event that we do a first, second, third in.
Okay.
Is for the championship 7 main event, call it. But we've recently introduced the 3.5 for people that work their way up. And if you think that you have the lungs, come and compete at 3.5. I feel like I am in a. I could get in some trouble, and boss, I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to say these things. But I am going to say that there's going to be some changes and some opportunities when it comes to signing up. In the past, we have run out of slots because right people haven't signed up at the right time. So we're going to have some opportunities to get on specific lists a little bit earlier.
Nice.
And as that opportunity comes, I think that some people are going to like some of the curveballs and some of the surprises that we have in store.
Very cool.
Because Adam, as a competitor, will attest that we have not done these things before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
so just be watching for that. I will have permission to put that on social media soon enough. But the bottom line is at some point we will have a form of early entry and a form of gratitude for that early entry
Nice.
to show your commitment and our commitment to that long-term vision of Bong.
Nice. That's awesome. For those of you that are still thinking about it, I went to my first Bong-A-Thon. It was an absolute blast. Expect nothing and expect everything all at once. It's that cool. You get there and you really don't know. I mean, my brother and I, when we had gone, all we wanted to do was like help. Where can we help? What can we do? What can we set up? What can we break down? What can we don't don't expect to do don't expect to be that person right away. Enjoy yourself. Understand the whole thing about it, the whole experience. Experience it. It's an amazing event. I love that it's been around forever. I love that it's like a mini, like I've heard some people call it a mini Burning Man, which is kind of nice to say in that sense because it is that total like hippie vibe, but also it's an everybody vibe. You don't have to be a hippie or a hipster or anything like that just to get there. Be you, enjoy yourself, come out there, have a good time. I had a blast. I felt treated like family from the moment we drove in to the moment we drove out. It was just such an amazing feeling. I can't wait to be a part of it again.
So
And that's honestly the best part. That's my favorite part. Her favorite part is getting to listen to all the people having a good time, chit chatting about this. Did you see that? I can't believe this happened. Oh my god, I can't believe next year I'm gonna bring this. I gotta bring that. I gotta bring that. I think I'm gonna enter next year without even knowing that she's the president throwing the party. Because that's why she throws the party.
Yeah.
A chance for you to get away from mundane life, to come down and with like-minded people, have some good vibes. These competitions just be fucking fake.
Yes.
The sun and the weed.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yeah.
Oh.
And definitely you want an RV, I mean, or something to that effect, or some
So,
really
let
good
me-
weather
let me just
tents.
interject.
Yeah,
I
real
liked
quick.
my weather tent.
We pride ourselves on the availability of some sort of RVs. However, you'll see people having just as much fun with an army pup tent.
Right,
Right. We invite all walks of life. It's been said before, and you'll see it in our documentary. One camp will have a bologna sandwich, and one camp will have
Lobster.
lobster.
Right.
So
And
Yeah.
either way, you eat the bologna sandwich because it's, you just want to pay respect.
Yeah.
Snack, and you go
Yeah.
and have a lobster tail and you enjoy that.
Yeah,
And then next morning you bring your breakfast burritos. You're like, no, you fed me, I feed you.
absolutely.
I've
Love
literally
that.
seen camps be blown away by the wind. One person went and took their credit card, drove to town, and bought those people for any tents, camping chairs, just to make sure so that you have to go home.
That's awesome. Right. That's awesome. I love the year that Travis and I had gone. Juicy Concentrates pretty much fed us. Juicy, we love you guys. They pretty much fed us. They had pork shoulder marinating and I mean, come on. It was like it was 12 hours in the making or something like that. But damn it, they
You're
had
gonna
pork
be there
shoulder.
in 12 hours, so you'll be back.
They had ice cream. They had
Oh,
ice cream
yes.
at a camp.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We got our breakfast there. They had fresh coffee. And these camps, they take you into their camp like they're taking you into your home. It's such an amazing, good, peaceful vibe. I love every second of it. I was so grateful for that invitation to come to you guys. I can't wait to do it again.
Great.
For sure.
Awesome.
For sure. Absolutely.
I can go ahead and say that we have our here,
Excellent.
and I am able to release that it will be the first weekend of August.
I heard there's a difference in the
So,
date.
Well, and that's just it. It's like much like the party itself, it has to evolve and it has to be
course.
flexible.
Of course.
There's lots of varying balls in the air, and we have to just juggle them all to get them back down to neutral. And as long as the committee feels comfortable, we've locked in the date, we've locked in the location, and we've locked in a handful of sponsors.
Nice.
Up to and including a lot of the sponsors that matter. Moving closer to 420, we'll be able to drop that out. We've already started to hint out on social media, a lot of them.
Awesome.
And again,
That's
we're just
fantastic.
moving forward into our 40th private party.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I think that's all we've got, unless anybody has anything else to add. I do want to go over a couple of events coming up. March 28th, that's this Thursday, is Rooster Magazine's kickoff to April. That takes place at Temple. I've gone now, I want to say 3 years in a row. It's a very interesting competition, and it's, to me, I think that a lot of that, because it's Rooster Magazine, it puts a lot of different cannabis companies on the map, which
Okay.
is great.
That is
And-
awesome.
yeah, and it's not like it's not putting them on the map long term. It's just getting their name out there. Hey, you guys won first place. There's awesome awards and medals and trophies that they get for that. And it's a great all-around event. They give you free food. There's always lots of swag to get from all the different companies. Oddly enough, Juicy Concentrates is also one of the sponsors of that, as well as Native Roots. So can't wait to see that. March 30th, if I am not mistaken, I saw Kale that runs our mushroom company that we love. He actually had posted about the 30th. There is the 2024 Connoisseur Cup, March Dabness,
Yes.
said to be at Dave's
Yes,
house.
yes.
Yes. Alrighty.
We'll be there.
Excellent.
Cup is still doing their thing over at Dave's house.
Fantastic. That's a good thing to hear. I like hearing that. It's good to hear that because Dave's house has been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I like hearing that it's still there and it still
Absolutely.
exists and it's
They're
still running
doing
strong.
Lots of different things and getting things rolling. They have the different
Yeah.
shops.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly they want you to come on down,
Shout
do
out
your
to Dave's
donation
house.
Yes.
for-
Shout out to Dave's
for
house.
your judges pass. You come
Yeah.
and hang out and meet with people, and you like edibles, only edibles. You can judge edibles if you want to come with the staff. If you want to do the dash edibles, all of it. They've got great stuff going on down there.
Awesome. I love it. Of course, April 6th is going to be Turks and Glass. That's an event hosted by Ollie. He runs a whole bunch of like safe sesh events going on out there, and he's got a lot of great judges actually that are going to be part of that Turks and Glass. So I'm excited about that. I think he still has some tickets available for that one. April 12th, we keep talking juicy here. Juicy Concentrates is running their 420 Pueblo Union Depot event.
Yep.
I love it. The kindness is just insane with them. You go to their events and they're free. When I was running events, there's no way I could have a free event. It just wasn't in the cards. They, on the other hand, have great sponsors, a great event. Their VIP ticket is $10. Otherwise, GA is free. Starts at 7.
Yep.
Yeah. Love Juicy Concentrates.
They're doing great things,
They
too.
really are. They're popping up everywhere, and I
Yep.
love seeing it.
Yep.
Working for 111, I get to drive to all different dispos. So when I pop in there and I see familiar places, I'm like, oh, I love this company.
Right.
And
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see. I've got on the 19th, and you're coming with me to this one, is the Sensi Industry Night. That is Sensi Magazine or Sensi in general always holds something either monthly or yearly. When COVID hit, they kind of stopped and then they continued back in like 22. So it's good to see them back out there and doing their events monthly. I'm really excited to go to that one. April 20th, we've got a bunch of events going on. So of course, I'm going to get through this one. We've got Jars is hosting their 420 in Civic Center Park again. A lot of different. That's actually a free event.
Shout out to Michelle LeMay.
Yes.
R.I.P. Michelle LeMay.
Yes.
The founder of the 420 Festival.
Yes.
OG.
I'm so glad you said that. I actually did not put that on here to mention. Thank you.
Cannabis
Absolutely.
Museum and everything, yeah.
Yeah.
She was the founder of the 420 Festival alongside of a small team of people. As I recall, maybe Miguel Lopez, possibly Ty Link, a handful of people that helped alongside Michelle May. And she proceeded to have the first rolling cannabis museum. So it's like a little trailer. She was nothing but love and respect to the industry and community, and she will be great.
Absolutely. Good shout out on that. Very good. Let's see. We've got the 420 at Tetra Lounge is the 420 Battle of the Band. I'm glad to see
Nice.
Tetra's doing something.
Okay.
I'm really happy to see that. Tetra is such a great place. It shocks me to this day. I'm just going to rant for a second. It shocks me to this day that they had the mayor or the governor or both, if I'm not mistaken, at the ribbon cutting of Tetra Lounge, and they're still jumping through hoops. They're still jumping through hoops. Like, can this man get a break? Seriously, it's a great concept, great idea. Like, let's get that place going for the love of God. You had officials as a part of it, and you still can't get through the red tape. This is ridiculous. They should just let that coast through. Let this man have his club. You know? And of course, guys, I left this best for last, of course. April 20th is the 420 Carnival in Colorado Springs. You guys are going to be a part of that. Tell us a little bit about this carnival. What do we know? I've never heard of this before. I'm excited. Are there rides?
A little bit embarrassing to not be able to answer that question.
It's new for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just know that we're going to go out there and again host one of our fastest gram competitions.
Very cool.
Following up with us on Facebook or through them, you'll be able to get our times because we will be having a very limited time window where we'll be showcasing that opportunity. I can't really say too much, but I will say that we will have an impressive prize package as we always do. Again, without me knowing exactly what it's going to include, it will most likely include some sort of an invite to the winner.
Nice.
Which means if the winner does happen to smoke the fastest gram of the night,
You're already
kick 'em
going
in.
though, pressure.
Exactly. And on the low, that's
Not allowed to really compete.
that's one of those things where there's a handful of people that I don't let compete.
Fair.
And they know who they are and when it is. But
we
if
don't like it, but we know.
and again, at a Vegas event that we were just at, somebody, had big dick energy and said, "Oh, I can smoke a gram real fast." And we laughed at him, and sure enough, big dick energy came through.
In 57
And
seconds.
he came
Really?
through. Yeah,
Didn't even talk.
he flexed and he
Just took it
flexed
like
with,
his champ.
like
Wow.
Yeah.
That does not happen often.
on
No.
that particular night, as I recall, that random guy from Cannabis Now TV, actually, or what was it, Cannabis Now Network, Cannabis Now Magazine.
Okay.
His name was Chris. He beat Crusher's demogram that night. His demogram was just over a minute. Versus tonight, where you'll notice that lots of variables play in when it comes to the weed. Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it fresh? Vegas is very different.
What is the best kind of weed for such a thing? Is it more dry? I mean, you don't want it to be too sticky.
If you're racing and you're bringing in the weed, you want something that's going to be dry and quick. Or, I mean, maybe you want something that's it's always a preference. Because there's some guys, I've had guys bring the stickiest weed they could.
Just to slow them down.
Just to slow me down because they know I crush the weed up the way I do. So they try to get the stickiest.
Dirty.
weed they can. I've had it where it like just balled into a nug, and I was like, "Well, this ain't right."
Let me get my
But
moon
as soon
rock.
as I start pulling it apart, it starts crumbling because I did crush it. It just stuck.
So that being said, one of our committee members, Sean Hyatt, is a big fan of how can we slow these guys down. We've worked on bowls with smaller holes. We've worked on bongs with.
That sounds like a band.
Lately, we've been working with a sponsor, Peace Water, who I'm sure you're familiar with. Is a water that goes in your bong to help keep your bong clean long term, easier maintenance.
Okay.
And
It's got a little bit more density to it.
Viscosity or
Maybe
okay.
density would be the word. Some
Gotcha.
people are familiar with like weed wipes. Some people would be familiar with like straight up vegetable oil or some sort of glycerin, and that's kind of what's inside the water, but pre-mixed. Whatever their proprietary blend is. We use it for our competitions, again, specifically for our competition.
Okay.
A lot of smokers may not use it on the regular. However, that just all boils back to
Gotcha.
but Tracy, thank you so much for having us on.
welcome.
I'm starting to ramble. They'll tell you that I can ramble.
I do not mind. I do not mind, you guys. This has been an excellent show. I have really enjoyed everybody's company here today.
Awesome.
Hell yes. I'm so glad you all got to talk and chat about all these awesome events. And thank you for being a part of the show. Again, we've got Sierra, who is the VP of Bong-A-Thon.
Bong-A-Thon.
Bong-A-Thon. We've got Billy the Bud Tender. We've got Brandy the Bud Tender Brewer. The Bud Tender Beer Drinker. We've got Adam the Crusher, and of course your host, Tracy Valentine. You guys do not forget to like and subscribe to the Sesh Connection page. Anything that we've talked about today, any of the different companies that we've noted, we will definitely thank in a post on our Insta. You'll know about all events coming up too. We'll post that on the Insta for you as well. And thank you so much for joining the Sesh Connection. Again, you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. This has been wonderful.